We continue now at the top of Daf Kuf Yud Beis and Beis and Meseches Pesachim. This is Pesachim Daf 112b. Gemara had said in the previous summit, a person should not marry a widow and almana. She'ein kol etzbos shavos. Not all fingers are equal. Rashbam here says she'ein kol etzbos shavos means aver tashmish. We're referring to the aver of relations. When we talk she'ein tashmishu shel zeh noach lo keshel rishon tisaneo. So if the relations with the second husband is not the same as the first husband, she might come to hate him. And the Gemara continues, mitzvah v'guf gadol. If a person wants to do, not only to do a mitzvah, but do something that's healthy, that's good for the body, good for the guf, ochel peiros v'lo schar. The person should eat fruit without payment. And the Rashbam over here explains, mitzvah v'guf gadol, im tirtza lasos mitzvah v'gam tistaker ba. The idea is, you want to do a mitzvah and you want to profit off it. You want to make money off it. So, ochel peiros v'lo schar, meaning, hilve mos l'chavercha al karka. What you should do is lend money to your friend, and the friend will give you loan as a collateral. Lecho peiros b'nechiyasa bezul, and then you'll eat the fruits from that land, and you'll deduct from the loan as you continue to eat. Shatinacha lo dvar muat min adamim. As you eat from the fruit, you'll keep deducting a little bit from the loan. Kimashkanta de surah, that's like the mashko and like the collateral of surah. V'hainu revach gadol, that's going to be a great profit for you. V'gam mitzvah, and it's also a mitzvah. Sheyesh lo lelo v'schar revach shetzarech lemos chora. It's a mitzvah because now the borrower has some money that he can use for doing his business. So then you've done a mitzvah, and you've also gained yourself in such a situation. And the Gemara continues, let's say you want schar mitzvah v'guf tahar. You want the reward of a mitzvah and you want a pure guf. So no say isha, so then a person should marry a woman, v'lo banim, and then he's going to have children. So in other words, in such a situation, by marrying the woman, you'll have pure thoughts. You won't have thoughts for other women, and you'll have children. You'll be able to do a mitzvah as well. And the Gemara says, Arba devarim tziva Rabbeinu HaKadosh as banav. There were four things that the Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, commanded his children. Al Tadur, number one, Al Tadur b'Shechnetziv. Don't live in this area called Shechnetziv, Mishum deleit Tzanei have it, because they make mockery of things. Umashchulach b'leit Zanusa, and they're going to draw you into their mockery. V'al Teishev al Mita Aramis, and don't sit on a bed of an Aramean woman. So what does that mean? Iko diamri, some say that means delo tigni below kriya shema. It's a euphemism. It really means to say don't go to sleep without saying kriya shema. Going on the bed of an Aramis is like going to bed like an Aramis, not saying shema. V'iko diamri delo tinsiv giyursa. Some say that the advice was don't marry a convert. V'iko diamri aramois mamish. And some people say you're supposed to take it literally. Literally, do not sit on the bed of an Aramis. Why? That's because of the episode that happened with Rav Papa. And the Rashbam over here says, what was the story? There was an Aramis who was obligated to give him money. He went into her house to collect the money. So she choked her child. She put the baby that was not alive on the bed. When her Papa came in, she said to him, sit on the bed till I bring you your money. So that's what he did. When she came, she said to him, you killed my child. And then he fled from the Medina, so that's exactly why a person should not sit on a Mita Aramis. And the Gemara continues with the advice of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi to his sons, don't flee. You shouldn't flee from the tax collectors, because maybe they'll find you. And they'll take everything away from you. And you shouldn't stand in front of an ox at the time that it leaves the swampy area, because the Satan is dancing between its horns. It's very dangerous at that time. Rav Shmuel says, B'shor Shachor of Yomei Nisan. This is particularly true when the shore is black and when it is the days of Nisan. Tani Rav Oshia taught, Marchikin Mishor Tam Chamisha Am, a person should stay away from a short tam. That's an ox that is not accustomed to goring. You should stay 50 amas away. Mishor Muad Kemale Einav. You should stay away from a shor muad, an ox that is accustomed to goring, the amount that you can see it, meaning stay away that you shouldn't even be able to see it. Tana Mishmei de Rabbi Meir, they taught in the name of Rabbi Meir, Reish Tura B'dikula, if the head of an ox is in a basket, still, it's an exaggerated way to say how dangerous it is. Still, sak liigra v'shadi darga mitusach. Still, you should go up to the roof and kick the stairs, kick the ladder from beneath you. Get far away from it because it's very dangerous. Amar Rav says, Niza de Tura, when they would lead the ox, they would call out, Hain Hain. They would say, Hain Hain. Niza de Aryeh, to lead the lion, Zezeh, they would say the word Zezeh. Niza de gamlo da da, leading the camels, they would say da da. Niza da arba hilni haya hila vihila kulya. When they guided the ships, the laborers would say hilni haya hila hiluk and hulya. Those are the words they would use as they were leading the ship. The Rashbam over here says reish tura b'dikula ribusahi. This is a chiddush. Afilu kisharosh hashor b'sochasal. Even when the head of the ox is in a basket, meaning shu ochel bo, he's busy eating v'tard b'achilasu. Even when he's busy, you still have to be worried about the ox. Still, shadi darga penyala acharechi. You have to throw away the stairs, the ladder that you took to get up to the roof. The ox might pursue you. And then the Rashbam says, Niza de Tur, a few explanations of this. Lachash al ashur shalo yenachena. One pshat is that you're saying in an incantation that these animals shouldn't attack you. Kach perish rabbeinu. That's how our Rebbe explains it. V'nir be'enai. Rashbam says, I believe, sheino lachash, this is not an incantation. Elagara shagoer bo, beloshan azel havricho me'olav. It's something you scream at it to get it to run away. Or in order to lead it to do malacha, v'chein kul, and that's how you interpret all of these lines over here by these various items. And the Gemara continues, Amar Abaya says, or the hides or the leather, dog, the fish, v'kos, the cup, chamin, the hot water, uveitzim, and eggs, v'kinim, levanim, and white lice, kulan kashin l'davar acher. They're all difficult for davar acher, meaning they cause leprosy. And the Gemara explains each one. Or what do we mean by the hide? Man degoni on mishcha detzala. It means somebody is sleeping on mishcha detzala, which means a hide that has not yet been completed. It hasn't been fully tanned. Dog, what fish are we talking about? Shivuta biyome Nisan. We're talking about the fish called the shivuta in the times of Nisan. Kos, what do we mean? Cup. Shiyure kasa deharsana. What we really mean is the leftover of these small fried fish. Chamin, what do we mean by hot water? Chamimi de chamimi, we mean very hot water. Mishadri lavi, which gets poured on top of the person. Beitzim, what do we mean by eggs? Man de midrach aklipim, we're talking about somebody who steps on eggshells. Kinim levanim, what do we mean by the white lice? It means man de mechaver levushe, somebody who cleans, who whitens his clothing. V'lo noter leitman yayume, he doesn't wait 8 days. V'hader lavashlan, he wears it before waiting the proper time. So biryon hanoch kinim, it creates these lice. V'kashin ledavar acher, and again, this creates problems of davar acher, creates problems of leprosy. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rapapa says, Beisa de'is beis shunra, if you have a house that has a cat, lo neil boinish below masani. A person shouldn't enter such a house without shoes. My time, what's the reason? Mishum de shunra kata lechivya, because a cat will eat the snake, kill the snake, v'yachale, and eat the snake. V'isbei bechivya garmi ketini. There are small bones in the snake. V'yasiv la garma dechivya akare. Now, if one of those small bones goes into the person's foot because he's barefoot, lo nafik, it's not going to come out. V'istachenle, it's going to cause the person to be in a dangerous situation. Ika diamri, some have a different version of Rapapa. Based on the lesbe shunra, if you have a house without a cat, lo neil be inish behechra, person shouldn't enter there in the dark. My time, what's the reason? Dilma michrach bechivya, because now maybe the snakes are not going to be killed by the cat, so maybe an actual snake will wrap itself around the person, v'lo yado mistachin, the person won't be aware, and there's going to be a danger. And the Gemara continues, Gimel devarim tziva Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi es Rebbe. There were 3 things that Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi instructed Rebbe. He said, Al tas mum bi'atzmecha. Number 1, don't make a blemish in yourself. Maihi, what does that mean? Lo tahavelach dina bahade tzlosa. A person should not have a court case against 3 people. Techad have a bal dinach, because one of them will turn into the opposing litigant. Utrei sahadi, and then 2 of them will end up being witnesses against you, so they'll be able to win the case. Furthermore, also, you shouldn't stand over something to purchase if you really don't have the money. You shouldn't stand by it as if you're going to buy it if you don't really have the money for the purchase. And the 3rd thing that Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi instructed Rebbe, Ishtecha tavla, if your wife has immersed, she went to the mikveh to purify herself from being a nida, al tizakek lo laila rishona, don't be with her on the first night. Amar Rav, and Rav says, uvenida doraisa. We're specifically talking here about a nida on a doraisa level. Hoel v'huchzak mayan pasuach, because since we know that she was open, that she had blood coming from her, dilma moshcha ziva, so maybe we're afraid that the flow is going to continue, so you have to wait just till that second night. And the Gemara continues, Shlosha devarim tziva Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda es Rabbi. There were three things that Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda instructed Rabbi. Al teitze yechidi balayla, don't go out alone at night. V'al tamod b'fnei haner orim, don't stand in front of a candle naked. V'al tikanes lemerchatz chadash, and don't enter a new bathhouse shema tifchas, because we're afraid it's going to collapse. It's not strong enough yet to hold up in the face of the fire that's heating the water. Arkam, and the Gemara says, how long do you have to wait till you assume it's strong enough? Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, Ad Yud Beis Chodesh, you got to wait 12 months. V'al tamod b'fnei haner orim, it said one of the pieces of advice, don't stand in front of a candle naked. The Tanya, as the Brisa says, ha'omed b'fnei haner orim have a nichbe. Somebody stands in front of the candle naked is going to become epileptic. V'hameshamesh mitaso l'or haner, and somebody that has relations by the candlelight, have lo bonim nichven, is going to have children who are epileptic. And we'll take a look at a couple of Rashbams. The Rashbam first says, b'nida doraisa. What do we mean when we say nida doraisa? Kodem shechmiru alatzman leishev shivanikim. This was before they made a chumrah that you have to have 7 clean days. V'afilu roas kol shiva tovlos belel shmona. Back before that minhag, the practice was that even if they saw blood all 7 days, they would be tovel belel shmona, meshamshas, and then they would have relations. V'altizakik boso alayla hol vayom rasa v'hochzik mayin pasuach dilma shafa ziva b'shas tashmish. So that's why he says you got to be careful, because here we know that the blood is flowing, so maybe you're going to have this problem at the time of having the relations. Shema tifchas, and then again by the new bathhouse v'tachteh chalol mole mayim. Underneath it, it's gonna decay, it's gonna open up, and underneath you're gonna have a cavity full of water. It's going to be a dangerous situation. And the Gemara continues, Tanu Rabbanon, the rabbis taught, Hameshamesh mitaso al mita shetinok yashen olef. A person has relations on a bed that there's a baby sleeping on it. Also tinok nichba, also in that case, the child is going to become epileptic. V'lo amrnel de lo have bar shasin, and that's only true if it's not a year old. Aval have bar shasa less lanba. If the child is a year old, it's not a problem. V'lo amrnel de lo goni ela de goni lahade kare. It's only a problem if the baby is sleeping by the legs of the father. Aval goni lahade reshi, but if it's by his head, less lanba, it's not a problem. V'lo amrnel de lo monach yade love. Also, it's only a problem if he doesn't put his hand over the baby for a separation. But if he puts his hand there, separates, so then it's not going to be a problem. And the Gemara continues, Al teitze yechidi balayla. Another piece of advice was, don't go out alone at night. The Tanya, as we learned in a Brisa, lo yetze yechidi balayla, a person shouldn't go out alone at night. Lo belele revios, v'lo belele shabbosos, not on the night of Wednesday, meaning Tuesday night, not on the night of Shabbos, meaning Friday night. Mipnei shagras bas machlas, because Agras, the daughter of Machlas, which is a particular demon, he ushmona esrei ribo shamalache chavola, she and 180,000 angels of destruction, yotzin, they're all out. V'chol echad v'yechad yesh lo reshus lachavel b'fnei atzmo, and each one individually has permission to destroy, all the more so how destructive they're going to be at this time if they're all together. And the Gemara explains, Meikara have a shchichi kula yoma. Really, originally, these destructive angels were around all day. They were around all the time. Zimna chada paga Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa. But there was one time when this demon Agras bas Machlas, she met up with Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa. Amrale, she said to him, Ilavd mecharzon alach berakia. If not for the fact that they proclaim about you in the heavens, Hizaru b'chanina, be careful from Chanina, uvesoraso and his Torah, sakantech, I would have put you in danger. In other words, if not for the fact that you were so great, I would have caused you harm. Amar lo, so he said to her, Ichashivna berakia, if that's how chashiv I am in the heavens, if that's what they consider me so important, gozer ani alayich shelo ta'avori b'yishav liolam. I'm going to make a decree that you should never go in inhabited places forever. So he basically tried to ban her from everywhere. Amrale, so she said to him, B'matusa minach, please, shavak li ravcha porsa, give me a little space, give me somewhere to go. Shavak lo leile Shabbosos v'leile revios. So he gave her the night of Shabbos, Friday night, and the night of Wednesday, Tuesday night. And the Gemara continues, V'sucha dazimna, there was another time, Paga bei ba'abaya, where she met up with Abaya. Amrale, she said to him, Ilavd mecharzi alach beraki, if not for the fact that they proclaimed about you in the heavens, Hizaru ben Achmeni, be careful from Nachmeni, referring to Abaya, uvitoraso and his Torah, havasakantich, I would have put you in danger. Amar lo, so he said to her, Chashiv de beraki, if that's how important I am in the heavens, goes Rani alaychi shlo ta'avori b'yishav liolam. Same idea, I make a decree against you, you should never go in inhabited places forever. Gemara asks, Hakachazinon diavra, but 1 second, don't we see that they do go? If there was such a gezerah, why are the demons found in these inhabited places? So Amri, they answer, Hani, in those situations, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph.